news leader.
Good morning, it's 6:54. It's Wednesday. We love Wednesdays because it's Chemist Corner Day. Bring Jesse in, and Jesse always does something fun. Now, you've got a beaker, two bottles, and a tube of something. What are we going to do?
Well, it sounds like a party.
It always is when you're here.
That's right. So I was just going to talk a little bit about a Coke bottle.
Okay.
Well, it could be a Pepsi bottle. I happen to drink Diet Coke. But all these bottles, this is a polymer, and we've talked about polymers before, where it's long strings of molecules, and then most of them are very elastic for the most part, which is why we call them plastic. I was going to show kind of in a neat way exactly how this gets to be this by going in the opposite direction. Okay, this is a blank. This is how a bottle actually starts.
That's an empty Coke bottle?
That is. Yes, that is an empty Diet Coke bottle.
Where did you get that?
We have plastic back here, so.
Well, yeah, but you must know people. That's cool.
Yeah, it is kind of neat. So they start off like this, and then they heat it up and blow it up into a mold, and then you get this. So we're going to show that. What I have here is what I have in here. This is hydrogen peroxide, 30% hydrogen peroxide, stuff you put cuts on and things like that. In this case, it's 30%, which is about 10 times as much as what you'd have at home. I think hairdressers use 30%. Anyway, hydrogen peroxide decomposes into oxygen and water over time. Okay, we're going to speed that reaction up with a catalyst. Now, a catalyst is simply something that speeds up a reaction. Okay, so it gives off a lot of heat as well. So in order to heat this bottle up quickly and evenly, we're going to cause this hydrogen peroxide to decompose rapidly and give off a lot of heat, and it should shrink the bottle.
Wait, it's going to shrink this, melt it?
It'll shrink it, not necessarily melt it. It's kind of neat.
Should we get Cynthia in here?
So I don't think she'll scream on this one, but you never know. So this can sometimes get a little messy.
So what's your catalyst?
This catalyst is manganese dioxide. It's like itching powder. Okay.
Oh, okay.
But that's not what we use it for, but you could.
But you leave some here, right?
That's right. I have a whole bottle for you. So we're going to just drop this in, and this is going to react with the hydrogen peroxide, and there you go. Now that's steam coming out of there. Okay. Pretty spectacularly. Yeah, it gets a little messy. Sorry. There we go. All right. Now, as you can see, this bottle has shrunk considerably.
Wow.
Now, if we could continue to heat this bottle up, right, over time, it would end up, we probably couldn't get it all the way back to this, but we can get it pretty close. I mean, you got to kind of think of this like a balloon, right? You blow the balloon up, when you let the air out, it goes back down.
Now, Emily, our producer, is asking if that's how they make the 100-calorie Coke bottle.
That's right. They just shrink them all up. So this is, when you heat this up and blow it up, it's under tension, but it cools, and that tension is still there. So when we heat it up again, it starts to come down. It was kind of neat with this reaction is we could heat the bottle up fairly evenly, so we get even shrinkage. So that it looks just like it did when we started, only now it's tiny.
So could you repeat it and just keep stepping it down? I
think you could. Probably wouldn't be able to get it all the way back to this. I mean, because it would, you're going to get some sort of permanent deformation. Just like a balloon, when you blow it up, it never goes quite back to the way.
This was all impressive. Make that into that.
If I had a mold, I could. Yeah, you just got to do this exact same thing. You heat it up, and then they blow air into it, and then they have a form in there so it can't go too big, and so it gives it this shape here. Oh. But yeah, they just blow hot steam into this, and into a form, and you get from this to this. All right. So it's kind of neat.
That is cool.
Yeah.
All right, Jesse Miller, Chemist Corner, telling us how to shrink a Coke bottle in case you
ever have that need.
Hydrogen peroxide and the manganese stuff laying around the house.
Play around a little bit.
Yeah. So these are polymers. I had a quick question. When did plastic first really come onto the scene?
Well, I mean, they've been playing with plastics for quite a bit. I think like in the 50s and 60s.
Okay.
Is when we really started to see mass production of it. It's a petroleum product, so it has to be after the petroleum age started.
Yeah.
So, 40s, 50s, 60s was when plastics really started getting in their heyday.
Well, I was wondering about that.
Yeah.
Because there was a day before plastic.
There was.
Kind of like there was a day before CD players, but...
What?
No.
What are the...
Stop. All right, that's our Chemist Corner on the morning show. If you'd like to see that Coke bottle shrink again, log on to IllinoisHomepage.net. If you want to see more of the morning show, grab your remote and change the channel. Jump over and join us on WCIX 49. We'll be there in about